Melanated family. This is your brother Harrison, man. We back for another one. This is a brand new episode of the Melanated Convo podcast family. I'm happy to be back. Happy to have the family back in the building today. We got another special one. You know what I mean? Last week I had somebody from my hometown, and I keep finding them, man. I keep finding these gems, these brothers who got relentless grind. You feel me? Because that's what I'm learning. Many people can inspire you, but I like to watch people first now and notice how much they grind. The consistency gonna beat talent. Come on now, the consistency gonna beat you out. If you great, if you dominant at whatever you doing, if you don't like doing that shit, somebody who consistent gonna pass you up. So I've been following this brother for a while. He solely really believes in investing in yourself, whether it's fitness, whether it's your mind, whether it's your finances. So on the show today, we got the brother who has his own podcast. My first time interviewing a podcast host, so this is gonna be dope. He know how it works. You feel me? So I got my brother Johnathan Smith from the Invest in Yourself podcast and the Invest Apparel. He has a boot camp too. This brother's doing it. How you doing today, Johnathan?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me on. Like I told you before we got started, man, it feels great to be a guest this time and being on the other side of the table, letting you do your thing. And I'm happy to answer your question, really introduce your market to me.
There we go. So, just like me, you are you were raised in Sacramento, right?
Yeah, actually. So my story started. My mom had me young. I was raised by a teenage mom. My mom actually had me at 14 years of age. I was born at Kaiser Hospital on Morse Avenue. And I actually lived a few different places, grew up a little bit in South Sac, and spent a lot of my time in North Sacramento, actually in North Highlands, California.
Okay. Now, like I was saying before we started, I'm always interested in knowing how the brothers in our community are raised, right? So looking at your history and everything, because you mentioned your mom was a teenager. Talk to me about like the input of your father as a young child.
Yeah, unfortunately, stereotypical upbringing with, having the father kind of being absentee, not being in a home. Part of that was my mom was a teenage mom and my, father was young at the time as well. So it's just, he wasn't always around, unfortunately. Pops in and out of jail. But I would tell you this, my mom did have me real young, but, she was always there for me. And she did the best she could. Crazy story real quick, we'll get into it, man, is I found out like 10 years ago, the whole story about, my birthday, when I was born. And actually, my grandma took my mom to the hospital with stomach pain because my mom, when she was pregnant with me, she didn't gain a lot of weight. She got a little thicker in her thighs and stuff like that. My grandma just thought she was just developing. And when she took her to the hospital and the doctor told my grandma to sit down, you're having a grandbaby. Yeah, that's my beginning right there. I was like a surprise. I found that story out, man. I was tripping out, man.
That's dope. But it's funny. I remember just being a young dude in the hood, right?
Yeah.
And we would see women who would have babies like this, meaning you would one day you would see them and they would look normal, and the next day they would like, Shaquita just had her baby, and you were like, I've seen her. She didn't look pregnant, so that makes sense to me because I've seen women who 9 months pregnant and they still can hide it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Definitely. So talk to me about this though, right? Because I'm a black man too.
Yeah.
Johnathan, who my dad died when I was 8. So I can't speak to like having a father in the house, having rules and regulations designed by a man being there who walked me through things. So from your perspective, I know how I feel about it. But from your perspective, being older now, and I can tell you gain perspective, How do you look back on that time? Do you look back on it like I missed hella shit? Or are you looking at things jewels you didn't pick up? What's your recollection of just being a kid growing up with just his mom?
There's times I look back on it and I'm like, with my mom having me real young, she had to grow up real quick herself. So, there were certain things that, she never learned. There were certain things that, she was never taught from having to start to care for a child, at 14 years of age. I mean, of course, my grandmother was there to help raise me as well. But my mom was there, being a mom. So she kind of missed out on her childhood. She missed out on a lot of her growth, and development. And unfortunately, like some of those missed things and certain things I wasn't taught growing up, when I came into adulthood in the beginning, I kind of like struggled and I had to learn them a lot later. But I don't really cry about it or blame anybody for it, because I say it's better late than never at all.
And I think that's the best way to look at it. But what I think some of our brothers, and I'll be honest, like you a young man, this ain't all of us, because I'm not gonna speak in absolutes. But we got a lot of brothers who deal with that, bro. Like you could be as masculine as you want. You could be as successful as you want. If there was no daddy there, there may be some things you miss when it's time to start a family, when it's time to mate with a woman. But what we got to do, Johnathan, is recognize that. Say, I missed it. Let me be on the lookout for certain shit. You know what I mean?
For sure. I can attest to that from, me, having my son, and my son's now 15 years of age. And, I could say when I, first start becoming a father, it was a little difficult. I mean, I know take care of him, change his diaper, feed him, things like that. But there was some little things that I felt like, having a strong, responsible, father figure in the house all the time, that I would have benefited from that. And did that affect me as a father, in the beginning and sometime a little bit now? I would definitely say, yeah, it did.
See, but I think that perspective is how you change it, though.
Right.
I think sometimes, like I always say on my show, family, we normalize our trauma a lot of times.
You know what, Harrison, I seen you say that maybe last week or the week before that, and it really kind of like resonated with me that we do really normalize our trauma and some of the crazy situations we have to deal with in our youth that we really shouldn't have to deal with. When we normalize it.
We normalize it.
And that's just the way it is, from the hood. That's the way it is, like that. You know how it is.
Big mama just crazy. Like, I just get my ass whooped. Like, I just ain't got no food.
Right.
I just ain't got no socks to put on today. Yep. Like, we taking all this shit like it's normal. And
all inside.
It's okay to be an adult and say, I'm not going to live like that.
Right.
That wasn't normal. And because people think, especially black folks, I get it, black folks, the medical field, like the medical industry has been neglectful towards us, to say the least. You know what I mean? So when it comes time to go talk to somebody, we got this thing where I ain't going to talk to no white folks. I'm like, man, look, it's an impartial ear,
right,
that won't judge you.
Yeah,
that's actually what it is. You see what I'm saying? Because you can talk to your cousin, you can talk to your friend. They may use that shit against you one day, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. We can't tell them everything. Real talk.
That's why going to talk to a shrink or somebody who not gonna judge you, preferably somebody who look like you. I think that may help. But somebody who's not gonna judge you, this can help all of us when we talk about healing. Because a lot of times I see black folks engaging in everything Black America, religion, religion, racism, everything that's going on, politics, everything. But I'm like, wait a minute, before we go outside and start figuring out how other people can help us, we got a little in-house work to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? We got to do. That's why I'm so big on history, bro, because I think learning about our history, not an excuse. It's not going to make you be an excuse-ridden person, right? But it'll just give you perspective. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Fully.
Definitely. Now let's get into, when we talk about investing in yourself, right? First, before we get fully into it, tell me, how did you come up like with the whole concept of invest in Apparel, invest in yourself?
Yeah.
How did you come up with that concept?
So, I was like playing around with the doing a lot of investing with the stock market, like different stocks and things of that nature. I was always checking my phone, and stocks go up, stocks go down, blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking to myself, what could I create that's guaranteed interest? What could I put out there that would actually inspire people to actually put into themselves, into their person? Because that's not really like pushed to us like that, investing in herself, investing in a bunch of other shit. So I was on my lunch break in my car, and I came up with invest in yourself. And then our slogan, our moniker was guaranteed interest, because when you put into yourself, your mind, your body, and your health, that stock is for show. You going up 100%. I'm over there buying stocks in Walmart, all this different shit, and my shit's going up and down. But I tell you, when you put into yourself, your interest is guaranteed.
It's you guaranteed to get it back. That's why when I seen your slogan, I was like, sometimes words, phrases seem real simple.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing simple about that phrase, man. That right there can change your life, because people want to look for a quick flip. Even having money available to put into stock, it's risky, but you didn't do much but click a button, transfer the money. We talk about investing in yourself. We talking about, nah, I ain't eating that burger. Nah, I'm not yelling at my mama or my cousin. Nah, I'm not having unprotected sex. When we talk about investing in yourself, that go deep, bro. So I was like, see, he tapping into something, because Black people in America, I'm always on my history shit. We didn't been through so much stuff. Sometimes we moving so fast. We struggling so much. I ain't got time to work out. These bills do. I just had a baby, and I got 3 other babies. Daddies ain't around. We dealing with these type of life problems. You approach this person with a workout plan, they like, shit, I gotta feed these kids. I ain't got. They get to telling you their life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've heard it all. I've heard being a trainer and stuff like that. I've heard it all, man. I've heard it all. What I'm big on, man, I feel like when you put into yourself, mind, body, health, all that, you a better version of everybody else around you.
You're a better version of everybody else around you. Now, so talk to me about the fitness piece. Like, I see that you a brother that's in shape. And I was just reading, like maybe a week or so ago, the brother Kevin Samuels, RIP to the brother Kevin Samuels.
Good, yeah.
I seen that he pretty much died from high blood. It's that hypertension. And I'm gonna be honest, Black people, I'm 42 years old. I'm never gonna lie to my audience. I seen hypertension at first. I didn't know what that was. And I said, damn, hypertension. I'm thinking his heart didn't blew up.
Said,
wait a minute.
High blood pressure.
I.e., high blood pressure. I said, wait a minute. And they list the foods. Then I went to Googling, like high blood pressure. Okay, I know about that. Let me see what kind of things bring on high blood pressure. I said, damn, everything.
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 all the processed food, all the shit that's like mass, like marketed to you. I talked to a guy when I first started my podcast, and we talked about, big food pharma. Big food pharma makes billions of dollars pushing really unhealthy, high blood pressure, obesity inducing shit down our throats every day, because it's fast and it's accessible, and people need fast and accessible, because unfortunately we live in a fast and accessible and a fast world, a fast moving world. So people are looking for something quick to feed the kids, something quick to put in their body, and it's garbage, and it's really killing people.
It's really killing people, and we, being Black folks, we have a big problem with this. Like, and sometimes, Johnathan, it's economic based, right?
Yeah.
It's thinking you don't have the money to buy
it.
What's necessary. So what do you tell people about fitness, bro? Because like I said, you in shape. I don't know how old you are, but I'm 42 years old.
38.
I've been working out since like I was in high school. Like my metabolism has been kind of high, but I've never stopped working out since like 16, 17.
Love it.
And I know with my muscle memory, all that has helped me. But I know a lot of folks, Johnathan, who 36 and say, you know what? I don't like this body. It's time to start working out. What are like some tips you can give this person? Because I've seen people do this, Johnathan, and they worked out, man. They try their hardest for 2-3 months, and they don't see no results. They're like, fuck this shit, I ain't working out. You know what I mean?
So one thing I tell people is, in the body you got right now, good or bad, you most likely didn't get that in 2 to 3 months. So you can't expect to be able to completely change that in 2 to 3 months. So what I pitch to people is, I'm not going to put you on a diet. We're going to slowly start to change your lifestyle. So if you're all the way over here, it's going to take you a little bit of time to get over here. But if you slowly work toward that, you can eventually get to that. And just like we talked about in entrepreneurship, the same things with changing your body is being consistent, being consistent with it all the time. The problem is people will only do things on the days when it feels good. And unfortunately, you're not always going to feel good. Some days you're going to be tired, a little bit stressed out. If you want it, you're going to have to do it even on the days when it feels a little bit hard. But another thing that can kind of help people too is one thing I'm really big on is I try to make some of my food ahead of time. So I always have some healthy food accessible to me. Because the biggest problem is like if you don't have anything made, man, and you're super duper hungry, you're driving home from work and ain't nothing made, you're going to stop at Taco Bell, McDonald's. You're going to do that. The average person is, you're going to do that. And then that's kind of how you're going to fall off the wagon. But the key, bro, is just being crazy consistency, just getting sick and tired of the way you feel and sick and tired of the way you look and feel.
Damn, wait. So that's deep because when you look in social media, just the world we live in actually today, there's thousands of ways to lose weight, it seems like. Somebody's always marketing you some quick way to lose weight. And what you said makes the most sense, Johnathan. The individual, and this is with anything in life on some real shit, the individual got to get tired of that shit.
They got to get tired of it. Like all the people I've worked with, the people I've trained, the people I know that have really changed their life. I got a buddy that's lost over 120 pounds. He was, I think at one point in time, my man was 465 pounds. And I fucking challenged his ass to change his goddamn life. I said, do you want to be around to be able to play with your kids? Do you want to be around to walk your daughter down the aisle? You keep going the way you're going right now, you're not going to get there. I want to challenge you to change your life. We're going to do it slowly. My man's dropped over 150 pounds so far, and he's still going.
Damn.
He's a dog. He had to get tired of it, though. That's when you make change, brother. When you no one can get tired for you. Gotta yourself just be tired of your situation. That can come with anything. That comes with the fitness. That comes with just your life in general, your professional life, and just all around. In order to make true change and to really see that change through, you just gotta be tired.
I mean, god damn, that's because see, look, this is what I mean, bro. When I see investing in yourself, and I see you on your health kick, I see everything you be talking about on your show. To me, everything is deeper, bro. You just gotta be tired.
Gotta be.
What don't you like? The woman, she getting on your nerves. The job, right. You hate your goddamn job. One day, you just gotta say, no, fuck this. I'm gonna do better. Tomorrow, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna start, because to me, I tell everybody, I tell my kids this, everybody this. You are what you do in your free time. See?
Right.
You can tell me you tired of some shit, but if you get off work and all you do is go to the TV, you ain't tired of nothing.
Mm-mm.
You see what I'm saying? Like me and Johnathan was talking about before the show, a part of what we do, being a creative in a space where you still need to make money. A lot of people got a job, but still want to do something, whatever that thing may be. Well, it's going to be some sleepless nights. It's going to be getting off of work and relaxing. America, not just black, everybody in America, we're conditioned. 5 o'clock coming, I'm relaxing. Going to pick these kids up, get to the house, make this dinner. I'm relaxing. Chilling. When you on some creative shit, you want to say, no. From 8 to 9:30, I gotta edit this video. I gotta I gotta do something, right? Ain't that how you feel, Jonathan?
That's how it is. Like people that, like where I work and where I'm at, it's not a gazillion, entrepreneurs where I work at. So people, they don't understand probably, when John gets off work, like John ain't never really be off work. John gets off, John goes home, John sits at his desk, John's working on business. I'm editing podcasts. I have a spinoff podcast. I have women that make content for me too now. So I'm editing stuff for them as well. I'm working on fitness stuff. I'm working on promotions for the apparel brand. All that takes time. So for me, it's a consistent grind, and that's just really, that's what it takes, man. And people, they all want to. I hear people say, "I want to start something. I want to do something," but do you really?
That's real shit.
Your mouth told me that. Your mouth told me that. It told me that. But I just look at, what are you doing? What do I see? I see people every single day that complain about their situation. I hate doing this job. I hate working here. And I say to them, I'm a real blunt guy. And I'm like, what are the steps that you're doing to change your situation? And they don't have an answer for it because they're not used to people calling them out on that.
Because look, Jonathan, most Americans aren't running businesses, bro.
No.
Most Americans aren't chasing some kind of dream. Because see, it could be anything. Yeah. You could be a professional athlete, a professional fisherman. You can just love drawing. You can love knitting sweaters. People don't realize the benefit of this. Is why I tell everybody about my show and everything I do. I don't knock nobody that work. Everybody got to work. Whatever step you in your life, I get it. But what's yours? What's yours? Because everybody say people will hit me with, I'm raising these kids. And I'm like, yes, you raise your kids, but they're gonna be grown.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna be you again.
Yeah.
What you doing for you? That's why I don't think it should be something specific. I know dudes who play in basketball leagues on Sunday. I know dudes who fish. I know dudes who running a business. I know, but the main thing I'm seeing, Jonathan, is they doing something for them. You know what I mean?
Yep. Definitely you gotta do for you as well. You know, like you said, you touched on a good point. Like when you say the woman saying, I'm raising these kids, I'm raising this family. Well, depending how old your kids is, but maybe in 5 to 10 years, kids gonna be grown, gonna be outside the house. You might still be working, you know, and not like what you're doing, and what you gonna do then? The kids ain't there no more, and you kind of like left. You ain't got that identity no more. You know, you got to look in the mirror every day. What you gonna do?
That identity, damn, that's people don't know how deep that is. Because sometimes some of us get into parenting so soon that I'm mom, I'm dad.
That's all they know.
That's all they know.
Yeah,
that's real. That's real talk right there, bro. But like I said, everybody needs something on their own. So that's why I salute everything you're doing. I salute the invest in yourself movement, because everybody got to learn how to invest in themselves, brother. So I appreciate that. So tell me, like, talk to everybody about the podcast. Like, why did you start the podcast? So I can understand the fitness. Seem like you've been working out, doing your thing. Why start the podcast?
Yeah, man. Like, so one thing I wanted to do was I didn't want to be like the only voice, you know, talking about investing in yourself. So a lot of the guests, pretty much all the guests that I bring on to my show, they fit the image of the brand. They really align with everything that it is we do for the podcast. They align with everything we do for the apparel brand. They fit it. So I've had life coaches. I've had former NFL players. I've had best-selling authors, lots of life coaches, and lots of entrepreneurs, all doing some different things. But one thing they have in common, they all have the growth mindset. They invest in themselves and in others. So those are pretty much what the show's about. I want people to watch my show, get done with an episode, want to watch another, and be motivated and inspired to put into themselves and be like, damn, that shit was deep.
Because that's what I tell people, bro. Like YouTube and just the internet is full of all type of content.
Right.
Like I think it's healthy, just to be honest, to indulge into multiple things. Like you like to laugh.
Yeah.
You like to look at women. You like to go deep real quick.
Right.
Like do all that, but you gotta. It's like food. You can't get too much junk food. You know what I mean? You can't eat too much.
Balance.
You gotta have that balance. So my show, your show, this is just the balance. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? You can go somewhere else and watch the comedian. You can watch the little skits people do on TikTok. I'll be on there. It's funny.
Yeah, me too. I'll be on my lunch break. You know, watching. I get about 5 on lunch break. I do about 5 minutes at the start of lunch. Then I eat and then I do some business on the air. But I got that balance.
Yes, that's always. You can't be too leaning on any
one way. Yeah.
There we go. Definitely. So talk to us about the Invest Apparel Bootcamp. What is the bootcamp all about?
Yeah, man. So, one thing for me that I knew was being a trainer and launching my apparel brand. And one of the parts of the brand is about people, investing in their health and investing in their fitness and things of that nature. And we didn't just want to sell clothes. Like, here, buy my t-shirt, buy my hoodie, buy my hat like everybody else. We want to put on events that showcase the lifestyle that we're trying to promote to everybody else. So we want everybody to come on out, do the boot camps. The boot camps themselves are free. We just ask that when you show up, you buy a hat or a t-shirt or a hoodie, so everybody is, branded together. I got that idea a couple of months ago. I said, we want to grow the awareness on this brand. And, one of the parts of our brand is investing in your health and your wellness and your betterment. What better way than to get a bunch of people out on the weekend, put on an event, you got some music going, and we all work out and sweat for about 45 minutes in a positive environment, promote the brand, but promote the lifestyle, which is the most important thing. Offer value to people.
And
Give them something to look forward to, too.
Definitely. Because I see you out there, bro. I see you out there. And what people don't realize, too, again, my perspective about things is changing because I'm in a creative space now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I look at creators and I'm taking things from them. I'm seeing the hard work. And I'm learning, too, like when you put on an event like that, people don't know when you put on an event, it's 100%, right? So if 1,000 people come or 2 people come, I gotta put this thing on the same way,
no matter what,
because you're preparing yourself for when it's as big as you want it to be,
right?
But that's a process too, because I see you out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we out there. It was cool. We had a decent turnout. We had the Army service member come on out there, pass out some stuff to the kids, things of that nature. So it was a really really great event. Kids out there grabbing backpacks and things of that nature. Because, man, I believe that I told the kids, man, investing in yourself, it starts with y'all. It starts, in the youth. I felt like, it would have benefited me to definitely have something like this around, like something like this promoted to me when I was a little one, growing up in the hood. That would have helped me.
And then also, I see that something I appreciate, something I'm working on too. Like you created your brand, but you're branding yourself. Clothing line, the boot camp, like to anybody who's trying to start a show or trying to do something creative, because you said brand like 3 or 4 times now, and that's important. So talk to me about the branding piece of creating something.
Yeah, man. So what I want to do is I want this brand to, it be known, it be synonymous, because to really grow and to really put yourself out there, you got to try to get out and be in as many places and doing as many things as possible, because we live in a very noisy world, in a world where it's easy to reach people, but it's hard to reach people at the same time because they're just so occupied with other stuff. So I'm really big on just, branding everything. And I had the idea to make the backpacks, so that way, invest in yourself, gets into the schools. The kids are wearing them. My daughter was wearing her backpack the other day at school, and her friends, they love the bag. They're asking, what is that? Principal's asking, what is that? And they want to wear the bags, man. And then we got the boot camps. And with the boot camps, it's branded. And one of the ideas that we have, eventually we're going to have a couple invest boot camps going on in the weekend at the same time in different cities and different states. So I'm big on branding, because you get out in front of people and they start to recognize you and recognize what you're doing. That's how your brand grows. You just got to put yourself out there, man.
Name recognition.
Name
recognition. And like we were saying before the show, that's the groundwork necessary, Jonathan.
Yeah.
And then you'll end up where you need to end up. But when I first started my show, I was telling my friends and everybody around me when they would ask my goals and kind of, where I want everything to go. And I'm like, man, look, first, everybody around me need to know what I do. Right. Everybody in my city, everybody who follow me, everybody who know me personally need to know what I do. I need to become synonymous with what it is that I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in that name recognition, and that'll keep on going. Now, something you mentioned I want to go back to real quick.
Okay.
I didn't know this, but you said you were a trainer.
Yeah.
Again, fitness and how a lot of our people look, like the healthiness of our people, we die a lot from a lot of the things we choose to consume. What are some of the biggest things you see as a trainer? Like, what are some of the biggest hiccups you see with somebody who came, they was with you, and all of a sudden you ain't see him no more? You know what I
mean? Wintertime come. Everybody want to work out and shit in the summertime, in the springtime. But at that time, you want your summer body, that shit's too late. So you got to start when it's cold and it's raining. And that's the hard part. Because, you get home from work and it's raining outside. It's cold outside. The wind's blowing. You seeing that couch. You seeing that hot chocolate. You seeing that big bottle of Moscato or something. You like, man, I might take off today. Yep, I'm gonna take off tomorrow. You know what? We're gonna start back next week, and then next week don't ever come. So the biggest thing I see, brother, is just the consistency. And unfortunately, what I do see, and I'm not knocking anybody, I believe a lot of times we tend to become statistics of our environment and what we're around. Unfortunately, not everybody, but a lot of us do. And unfortunately, this day and age, it's become okay. It's become kind of normal and acceptable to not be in any kind of decent shape and not really take care of yourself because it's not really promoted. And most people are around people that don't do that. If you're around people that aren't pushing that, they're not doing it, it's like okay to kind of be that way. You get real content with that. And that's kind of just become the new norm.
Because you know something, like I said, my metabolism has been kind of high my whole life. Thankfully, I'm a smaller dude,
Lucky
but
man.
I have to be careful because smaller people like me, when you get a gut, you look pregnant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're so compacted, so you see it more. Yeah.
So you see it more. So I gotta be careful. You know what I mean? But I know a lot of stereotypes I used to face, like being a man. Right? Just one thing, Jonathan. Being a man. If I made a plate, if I'm at the cookout, right, and I make a little baby plate, oh, they give me hell.
They own you.
Niggas give me hell. Oh, look at this here.
They own you,
man. You better put some more
yeah,
food on your plate.
you.
I think back like they trying to kill me.
Yeah. Yeah.
They literally trying to, you know what I mean? Like we associate things with manhood. We associate, and then black people, we the person die of a certain illness, and we'll have a repast where we eat same shit that kills them.
Food. Yeah. It's crazy, but it's normalized. Unfortunately, it's generational. You know, African Americans, we're at the top of the list. For like, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes. We're at the list just typically just because of the types of foods that we tend to eat. Fried fish and fried chicken and all that type of stuff. And I'm not gonna say I don't eat that food, but it's like, in moderation. Mom might cook me a plate, every now and then I'll have some, but it's not something that I do all the time. It's in moderation, man. It gotta be like that.
It gotta be like that. And people need to just adopt the mentality like too much of anything is bad for you.
Too much of anything is bad for you, man. You gotta have balance, man.
Yep, you pick. Now, before we go, tell me, like, when we talk to people just in general, not just in our community, but in general, tell me some ways people need to invest in themselves. Like I have some ideas on my own, but talk to me about what is like the art of investing in yourself.
So for me, like real quick, man, I wasn't always in a positive creative space. I would say I'm 38 now, but I would say all the way in my 20s, I was in more of a negative space. So the biggest thing you have to start with is investing in a healthy space. And you say, what does that look like? That means like healthy relationships. That be meaning like healthy with your wife, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Healthy relationships with your family members, or not dealing with them. Making sure you invest in the friends, the circle that you have is positivity. You got to keep the negativity away from you. That's going to really pull you down. So for me, before I really started being what I feel fully put into myself, I had to do some house cleaning first for that and look at, my surroundings and the people I was around first, try to take some of them out. And then I was able to go ahead and start, climbing a lot more. I read a lot. I said that I wanted to be a millionaire one day, but I knew that with my current set of skills and what I knew just currently, I would have to keep becoming a better version of myself, and I would have to continue to learn more to continue to get better and continue to elevate. And I'm still learning. I've learned a lot, but I'm still growing and I'm still elevating. So I feel like people should always be growing, and you should always be challenging yourself and be trying to learn something like every single day.
That's 100 right there. And then you just said something that resonates with me because I'm an avid reader. I'm being a young dude who had a horrible stuttering problem. Books actually kind of help me slow down my speech as well as teach me things, as well as it's been a wealth of not just the knowledge, but just the sitting still. People don't know when you read, you're using all the bones in your body. You know what I mean? Like this is positive things. So talk to me about your experience with reading. Like, why is it so important? You think our young people, all the men in our community, why is it so important that we should pick up a book and kind of, you know what I mean, get a
Yeah,
understanding
for
of things?
me, like, every book that I read, and I take a couple things away from it. I had just read a book recently. It's called Man Up by Bedros Cooley, and man, it's a good read. He's a fitness guru, but his book is not just for fitness people, it's for any type of entrepreneur. And the book says man up, and it's just that. Like, if you want to have the life that you truly want, the life that you truly dream of, in order to go out and get that life, he says, you have to man the fuck up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
I feel that because I've
And
read
so,
several books about history,
yeah,
a lot of fiction books, nonfiction books, but just the point is getting that level that helps you like with articulation as well, bro. Because a lot of our brothers who are in jail, like this is the real thing. A lot of our brothers who are in jail, a large percentage of the people just in general that are in jail are illiterate. So
yeah,
this is saying that when a person doesn't have the ability to express themselves, they express themselves in other ways. This can be violence. This can be like an outburst of certain sorts. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
all these things are important in our community. So I appreciate you coming on the show today, bro. We need to make sure this ain't the last time. Now,
Oh man, I love to be back on the podcast, and love to
yes,
talk to you
sir.
about coming on the Invest in Yourself podcast. It's been my pleasure, man. It's been a lot of fun, man.
Definitely, because what you doing, brother, like positive energy, like I'm learning because sometimes people will tell me, Jonathan, I don't like social media. I got to take a break from social media, all these different things. Well, I'm gonna be honest, y'all. My experience on social media since I started like 4 years ago has been pretty good simply because of the energy I put out. I
Yeah,
don't I don't
same.
really talk about nothing that's beyond who I am. I
Right.
try to be as positive as possible.
Yep.
But what I know from looking at you too, I live what I talk about. Like I
Yeah.
talk about supporting black businesses. I talk about loving my people. And this is how I treat black people when nobody looking. Like when you
Yep.
tell somebody, invest in yourself. Okay, so I'm not gonna be fucked up here, but it's just my personality. People invest in yourself, and you was kind of chunky and kind of out of shape and kind of, I mean, cool, but people gonna be like, well, I mean, damn,
Funny
wait a
you said that. Funny you said that. I was, one thing I'd be doing sometime, and I think us growth mindset people might all do it. We kind of self talk to ourselves a little bit. So one thing I was saying, I heard this a while back, and it resonated with me. Sometimes the words or the advice that's being given only go as far as the credibility of the person that's actually speaking.
yes, yes. So you, and when you live what you talk about, to me, it resonates.
For
You know what I
sure.
mean? And
Yep.
I would hate to be in a position where I'm talking to all these people. I got these people responding to me, commenting, giving me feedback, and all this stuff. I don't want to lie to nobody.
Yeah.
We need to keep it real. But if you don't like, because all this is one big circle. Like if you don't like what's going on in politics, if you don't like how black folks are getting treated by the police, if you don't like any other things, all the ills in our society, a lot of that shit just start with you. How about you just go out tomorrow and be nice?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure. I love it, man.
It sounds simple, but this is like the premise all of us need
Yeah.
to kind of manifest. You know what I mean? So this is another episode of the Melanated Convo podcast. The brother Johnathan Smith, Invest in Yourself podcast. Hey, Jonathan, tell everybody where can they see your show, bro?
Yeah, go ahead and subscribe to Invest Universal. Invest Universal. You just type in Invest Universal, we're gonna pop up. Also follow me on Instagram at All Things Invest. All Things Invest with 2 T's. We always put out dope motivational content. Definitely follow us. Definitely check in with us.
Now, the first thing you said, that's your YouTube page.
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is Invest Universal, and then my Instagram is All Things Invest with 3 T's on the end.
All Things Invest. Invest Universal. Check
Invest
the brother
Universal.
out. Leave him a comment. If you like his content, leave him a comment.
Yep.
If you want to give constructive criticism, we accept that too. Just no funny shit. But if you want to give constructive, coming from a place of love, we can always use that as well. You know what I mean? This is your brother Harrison. Do me a favor, go to melanatedconvo.com. Melanatedconvo.com is the new place where you can get all the shows, the news stories I talk about. That's like a landing strip for everything that I do. melanatedconvo.com. Do that as well. On Instagram, it's Melanated Convo 100. The YouTube page is Melanated Convo on YouTube. It's about having these conversations, man. Like, I'm going to keep doing this. I love what I do.
Love what you do, brother.
And that's a part of this. Like, you have to love what you do, man. All my people out there working, I ain't telling you to quit your job. Dang what this is about. You gotta pay that light bill now. But find something. Work out. Read a book. Mentor kids. Join a chess club. God damn it. Like do something for yourself before it's too late. Before you're 60-something years old and you gotta retire and you're bored as hell. I know too many people who don't like their job. That's a telltale sign. Not that you need to quit. Shit, you need the money. Do something. Do something for yourself. You feel me? So this is your brother Harrison, Johnathan Smith, Investing Yourself podcast, man. I appreciate having you on the show, brother. This has been another episode of the Melanated Convo podcast.